See, I think I'm live. I'm not finding it for some reason. It was August 6th. Maybe this will help me find it. All right, hello everybody. It was weird. I for some reason couldn't find the stream, but I found it. So, as you regulars know, I've got to let me do this too. Got to fill out a little bit of information so people can find it. So just hang on a minute and let me get that done, and then we'll get going. All right, so already in there is the actually Zoom ID and passcode. Next, I'm putting in the Discord link in case you want to join Discord. That is there. Click save. You don't know what Discord is. Discord is kind of like Facebook, but I have my own private rooms. And once you sign up, get the cream on my lips. Once you sign up, you use this link to get into my rooms, or actually, I think technically they call it my server. Let's see. What else do I need to put in? I need to put my Facebook personal JeffMara podcast Facebook. Find that. And if we have time to talk about some news articles, then I want to use this link to find the article and check it out yourself. For example, one of them is a recording of Bigfoot possibly calling out to its young children. That in there. Let's say JeffMara podcast. There's that link. Facebook page. And then I'm going to put in my own personal Facebook profile, and you're welcome to friend me. I get, I think, 5,000 friends, so if I reach 5,000, I'm accepting. Okay. And then one last thing is the JeffMara podcast, the Eclipse channel. That's our other YouTube channel that has NDE clips on. To YouTube. Gotta save. Gotta save. Stream. Gotta put a tag word. Lost. Okay. Good. And there's already 100 of you guys, or over 100 of you guys here. So hello to everybody. I guess there's too many names to call out, but hello to everybody, and thank you for being here. I have quite a few. Let me see. I think I have 3 podcasts ready to I've recorded. I just haven't posted yet. And 2 of them are NDEs. And one of them is kind of like a dark night of the soul healing journey. So, I think that you guys are really. One second. I had one today, an NDE, and it's nice to get one that I hear new, or I get new insights about it. So I think that you guys might especially like that one because it's some new descriptions of NDEs that you probably haven't heard of. At least I know I haven't heard of them. So it might be very, something new to help you with your own puzzle and putting the pieces together. So let's get Merlin in here and get our weekly reading. It's weird because I keep forgetting, that I'm alone. I'm usually with guests, so it's kind of funny in a way for me because it's like I'm all by myself. Even though you guys are there with me, but I can't hear you or see you.
Hello.
Hello, Merlin.
Jeff.
How are you?
Jeff. Good. I got a special treat for everybody
All
today and you.
right. Awesome.
My brand new tarot deck came in today. So
Cool.
we are going to take a trip down the rabbit hole. Alice in Wonderland.
So,
Okay.
wow, I didn't know. That's interesting. Tarot Wonderland. That's really cool. It's all based on the story,
Yes.
huh?
Yeah. They the illustrations awesome and everything. It's beautiful. Let me open it up for you.
Let me ask you this. Whether it's a fairy deck or a tarot deck or an angel deck, are all the cards basically the same except the artwork of the card?
Well, there's a whole different bunch of kinds of tarot out there. Like they're not all the same, but some of them, they're all different. But this one stays true to like the original Rider-Waite. So it's like it's Wonderland, but the meanings are the same. Now there's some decks that you got oracle cards, which isn't tarot, it's different. Oracle's just more like you're leaning more on your own intuition. So it's like there's different types of meanings. It depends on the creator of the deck, really, ultimately. But I would say the majority, it doesn't really matter. They should be the same. But there are some decks out there which is basically whatever the creator of the deck wants it to mean, I believe. So
All right. I don't know why, but I should be able to remember some of the cards that have come through since you've been doing these readings, and I don't know why I can't remember individual cards, but if I could remember one, I would say, okay, do they have this card in the Alice in Wonderland deck?
Yeah. This is tailored off the Rider-Waite. So it's just got the pictures of all the Wonderland characters on them, but it still stays true to the original concept and meaning of the Rider-Waite deck. So I think it's pretty cool.
Was traditionally tarot cards done with just regular playing cards?
Yeah, that's how it started. But yeah, it started out as playing cards. Then it just evolved over into like spiritual meaning. First, it all started out as playing cards originally. So, yeah.
All right. So for everybody,
sorry.
It's all right. So for everybody watching, he puts it in 3 piles, and you have to choose pile 1, 2, or 3. And then your reading is not only, or the reading is not only good for now, but if you are a person watching this later and it's not live, it still works for you, right?
Correct. Yes, because it's the card you're going to pick is what you feel drawn to pick. Okay, so it doesn't matter if you watch it now or watch it later on the replay. It's still going to apply because everything is, like I said, energy. So it doesn't. And like I said before, time. They say there's no past, present, or future. It's all one event. So if you want to go off of that as well, I guess you can see it that way. Okay, so like I said, I'm going to start taking some from the top.
While you're doing that,
And remember, yes.
While you're doing that, real quick, I wanted to say thank you to Amber for the super thanks. I really appreciate it.
Oh, right. Cool.
So you've got 3 piles already. Are you going to do a confirmation card?
Yeah. So let me go ahead and do it this way. So whatever comes out. So I'm going to do a confirmation, get the cards out of the way for confirmation. Okay, this is pile 1, guys. Okay, so it's my right to you. So let me go ahead and get a confirmation card out. Pile 1, please. Pile 1. Pile 1. Pile 1. Pile 1. This okay. Oh wow. Okay, 2 came out. So I'll just go ahead and use these 2. I'll just apply the first one here and this one here. Do it that way. Okay, this one kind of flipped over and flipped back on top. So go with that. Okay, guys. Pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. So I'll give y'all a few seconds, or about 10 seconds or so to pick. And again, if you're watching the replay, it'll still work for you as well. Okay. All right, I think that's enough time. So let's go ahead and reveal pile 1, which is 7 of Cups in reverse. So if the cups, 7 of Cups is you have a lot of decisions to pick from. I'm going to go ahead. This is in reverse, but I'm just showing you upright. So you have a lot of decisions to pick from. But in the reverse, it means a lot of people in pile 1 have already made up their mind. They've already made their choice of all the things they can pick from. They've already made up their mind. Okay, and so the confirmation card is the Page of Swords. Wow, wow. That means you're going head on with vigor, with energy toward your decision that you made. Like, this is awesome. Wow, that's cool. That adds up. Wow. Okay. Pile 2 is another card in reverse, the Magician in reverse. Okay, if you got this pile 2 and this is the Magician, this is in reverse, that means you're lacking belief in yourself and you're lacking belief in your own abilities. And so let's do a confirmation card to see get more. Another one in reverse. 7 of Swords in reverse. That means a lot of you. It means you could be, or somebody in your life is sneaky, or they're hiding something from you. They're being deceptive in some way. If you got pile 2, so that combined with a Magician, yeah. So okay, it makes more sense. You don't, whatever situation that you're going in right now, pile 2, you don't trust it. You don't believe in it. You're not believing in this. It might be somebody in your life. You're not trusting them. You're not. There's lack of trust. Okay, pile 3 is, oh wow, okay. So 10 of Swords in reverse. That means a lot of you are getting over your anxiety, because in the upright, that means you have a lot of demons and you could be staying up at night. So I would say the reverse is you're getting over the past trauma, past hurts, and all that stuff as well. You're pretty much at rock bottom and you're just going back up. So you're getting over whatever it is. Confirmation card for that is the Page of Wands in reverse as well.
Wow.
Okay. So the Page of Wands is, because each page is a new beginning. It's in reverse. Okay, this is conflicting right here. This one right here. Getting over. Let me see the description, the illustrations of it. Okay, you're lacking passion, but you're okay. Yeah, it makes sense, because you're coming out of torment and anxiety, but you're not coming out of it with a lot of passion. So I would recommend meditation to find out what is making you doubt yourself. Find out why you don't have no zeal for whatever it is. I mean, I can understand, because you're coming from rock bottom and you have a lot of issues, but you're coming out of that better. But you're still coming out of there. You're not coming out unscathed. Okay, so that's the reading for pile 3.
And
wow,
it all it almost seems like pile 1 and pile 3 are opposites, because pile 1, you know your decision and you're going for it, putting your
Correct.
energy, and
Correct.
pile 3 is you don't know what's going on. And
Yeah, because pile three people are coming out of trauma. They're coming out of anxiety, fear. They're scared or they're hurt. So they're coming out of that.
Mhm.
And it would make sense that they're not coming out of it with a lot of, oh yeah, hurrah, because they're still hurt, but they're coming out of it. They're healing. It's a healing process
Mhm.
for pile three. Pile two, someone you don't whatever your situation is, it may be a relationship, maybe jobs. You don't trust it. You don't trust. There's you feel there's deception. You see through it, and you don't believe it.
Can you give
So
your can you do readings for yourself? And if so, do you do them personally for yourselves?
yeah, yeah, yes, all the time. It changes though because, like I said, just a simple change in thought can
Mhm.
change the future.
Mm.
So but a lot of times they've come out the same cards, even though I shuffled it. It's the same message that has happened before. But yeah, I do it for like big decisions or like, am I on the right path? Am I going the right direction? So yeah, I do them for myself as well, a lot. And I also do them for celebrities and stuff too as well. Personally, I don't like, so I think that's interesting. So it's
You
pretty
do
cool.
them what you said you do them for celebrities?
I don't actually do them for celebs, but I do it on celebs. That's what I
Oh,
meant.
okay.
Sorry.
Yeah. No, it's okay.
I do it about celebrities for myself. I don't know any celebrities.
Mhm.
So just want to clear that up.
Oh, that's okay. Are you back for doing readings on Discord?
Well, I did 3 readings. I finally caught up with the people I was supposed to, 'cause that's why I said I wasn't taking any more last Saturdays because I still had to do some people. But
Mhm.
I was able to do 3 people's readings, and they seemed like they were happy with it. They seemed like it made sense to them. It seems like it resonated with them. But honestly, it takes a lot of energy out of me to do these. And yeah, I'll do them. But I think I'm only accepting the first 3 people that direct message me, and I'll do those. But I can't do more than 3 because it's taxing on me. Honestly,
Why
so
is that? Why does it take up your energy?
because other people's energy can intermingle with my own, and whatever they're going through, whatever it is, it latches on to me. I'm messing with their energetic field as well, their connection, and it's taxing on a lot of tarot readers too as well. So yeah, just need time to get over it to separate that connection. So it's taxing.
Hmm. All right. So are you saying that for this week you're taking the first 3 people who contact you?
Yes, direct message me on Discord,
All
and
right.
I'll do the read through Discord. And if you want to do an audio call or a video call, or if you just want me to take pictures and send them to you through Discord, I will.
Hmm.
Absolutely, it's whatever you want.
All right. So there you have it, everybody. If you want to get a reading from Merlin, you go to the services page on Discord, and you can maybe either that, or I guess message you directly, right?
Yes,
What is
yes,
your name
yes.
in Discord? Is it still Merlin or
Yeah, it's just Merlin in Discord.
okay?
Discord. And if you want to find me and watch, so I put a little bit more content out on my YouTube channel, and it's the same name as my page now.
Oh, you did it. All
Uh,
right. Good job.
yes, yes, Merlin and the Fey King's Crown. It's the
Merlin.
same on my page.
All right. So it's Merlin in the Fey King's Crown.
Yes, yes, that's me.
Perfect. Perfect. All right, Merlin. Well, I appreciate you coming in and giving us a weekly reading. And if you guys want to get a reading, oh, one thing.
Just one more thing.
Sure.
There's a lot of negative energy. So if you feel like someone's like throwing negative energy at you, you can get a mirror and
Mm-hmm.
you can say whatever. You can just say this: whatever negative energy is being hurled my way, bounce back to the sender. That's all you gotta do. You can use a mirror to do that. If you feel like you're being under attack with these by somebody or some entity, or whatever, you can do that too. Because there's a lot of negative stuff going out. I feel like, and you can do it that way.
Hmm.
So that's all. Just a little tip for everybody.
I don't think there's any negative energy coming at me during the live stream, but I guess I could put like a mirror right here somewhere, some mirrors.
Yeah, it can reflect the bad energies back to where it came from.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a simple technique, and I use that too for
Cool.
myself. So that's all I got. And thank you, Jeff, for having me on again. And thank you, everybody. I love you all, and much love.
All right. We love you too. Have a great evening and a
Y'all too.
great week, bud.
Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm. And I need to, oh, I don't want to do that. Boy, I almost messed everything up. I need to say thank you guys so much. Everybody's being very kind and generous this evening. Tasty Bite, thank you so much for the super thanks. Real Tea with Krista Moore, or Reality with Krista Moore, thank you very much. That sounds like a podcast or something. And it says, oh yeah, thank you. Hers says, just love this ND, wanting to support you. I guess that's hugs and kisses. XOXO. Thank you. Thank you, Reality. And if you have a podcast or something, you should join me and we could talk about it. And then there's one more. LB Studio. Love spending at Saturday evenings with JeffMara podcast. Thank you very much, LB Studio. I really appreciate that. So thank you guys all so much. I guess I'll tell you a little bit more about what's coming up this week while we're waiting for more people to join us. Tomorrow's podcast is with Gabrielle Stone. Gabrielle Stone is Dee Wallace's daughter, or those that you remember, the actress that played in E.T. and Cujo and many, many other films. And we talk about her Dark Night of the Soul and her healing journey. And so that's tomorrow's. And then the next one on Monday is a guy that used to be a professional boxer. What? Sound's not loud enough? All right, let me know if you can hear me better. Maybe I just need to speak louder. So on Monday, I'm posting a professional boxer. And we talked about his NDE, and he actually had 2 NDEs. And let me admit Ken here. And on the first NDE, he went to hell, and on the second one, he went to heaven. So I hope you guys will enjoy those NDEs. All right, we'll ask Ken to start his videos. Much better. All right, thank you. And Ken's connecting to audio. And he looks like a new face. I'm pretty good at remembering people. And I don't remember him. I'm going to have to maybe shine my picture. Know what's going on. Let's see. I was waiting. We were waiting for audio to sync, but then it stopped. I don't know if you're hearing me. And by the way, this card and all these were made by our good friend in the chat, Penny Sutton. So she's a graphic artist. She makes invitations. She makes, I guess all kinds of like other things she can do for you. But I know the invitations are really cool, and she makes greeting cards, and she has an Etsy store. So if you want to find out about that, just message her in the You're getting married? There you are. Hi, Ken.
Sorry about that.
That's okay. It's Zoom. It's not a perfect system, so that's okay.
Thank you for having me on.
Have you been on before?
I have.
You have.
A few weeks ago,
Okay.
I came on to talk about 3 experiences I had that allowed synchronicities and potential messages from the other side.
All right.
And I talked.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I talked about one of them, and I was calling back to talk about the other 2. I'm pretty sure I can squeeze it in 10 minutes.
Great. Let's hear it.
So, quick summary of the first one, because they're all connected. I had asked for a sign from my angel if they were out there, and I proceeded to be bombarded with the number 444 in various circumstances that really kind of defied the odds. So with the second one, I didn't ask anything directly, but I had a conversation with my sister and then my wife later, and we were talking about NDEs and how the central theme seems to be love, and that if God had a singular purpose for us, it would be love. And I was just so struck by this, because as a person who had a lot of anxiety, I worry about everything. The simplicity of just knowing that love is all you have to worry about, even though it's not easy in every circumstance, of course, just really struck me. So I asked my sister and my wife, we were discussing, could it be that simple, like the Beatles song, love is all you need? Is it all you need? So a couple days go by, I'm in bed, and unlike the situation before with the 444, where I was sound asleep and then wide awake right away, and I saw the 444 on the clock, I was my normal groggy self. I looked at the clock, it was like 2 something in the morning, then it was like 3, and then when it was 4:16, a thought popped into my head when I saw 4:16. And when I say a thought, it's not an audible voice, but the best way I can describe it is say you have you're hungry, and you say, oh, I'm hungry, I want to go get a pizza, or oh, I have to go to the bathroom. I'm going to go to the bathroom. There was something behind it, driving it. And the thought that popped into my head was, get up, pray, meditate, and look up John 4:16. Now, the first two, not unusual, because that's part of my routine. I pray and meditate. But John 4:16, I'm thinking, what? Is that some sort of a Bible thing? And, I don't not know much about the Bible. I've tried to read it before, but never made it past Genesis. So I had no idea. And when I looked it up, it's God is love. He who lives with love lives with God, and God with him. And I immediately thought, my God, I just had that conversation with my sister and my wife. And I really wanted to know that answer. So that was the second one. The third one, again, I had a conversation with my sister, not my wife this time, and we take walks and talk about spiritual stuff. And often the NDE singer show are a topic of conversation. And this time we were talking about how God seems like a pretty cool guy. It doesn't seem to be very judgmental, that if anything, it seems we judge ourselves more. Mm-hmm. And I asked my sister, specifically, I'm wondering, with all the things I've done wrong in my life, not that I'm a bad guy, I think I'm a good guy, but I'm far from perfect. I said, I wonder if God would have grace on me, considering all the things I've done wrong. And that was it. A couple days go by, and I pray. I'm in my routine where I pray and meditate. And after the prayer, a thought popped into my head with that same motivation behind it. And it's the thought that came into my head was, memorize the song Amazing Grace. I thought, that is weird. I've never had a desire to memorize any song. And then I thought, well, I just had that conversation with my sister, so maybe that's what caused me to think of that. But I didn't want to ignore it. So after meditation, I started reading the lyrics of Amazing Grace. I'd heard it before, and I started to become emotional. I'm tearing up, and I'm thinking, I must be going crazy now. I'm crying at the song Amazing. I don't know where that was coming from. So I read it, and over the next couple of days, I memorize all 4 verses. And then I start seeing the number 555. And long story short, I walk into my bedroom, and it's around 8 o'clock at night, and the clock is frozen on 555, the digital clock. And I mean, it wasn't blinking or anything. It had full power. It wasn't broken. It's never happened before. I don't even know if it's possible to have a clock that's functioning and frozen on that. So I look up 555, and I know there are various meanings of that, but this is what popped up when I Googled it. Angel 555 is a symbol of mercy and grace. Seeing 555 is a sign your guardian angel that the grace of God is upon your life. And then I immediately thought, oh, I just memorized some Amazing Grace and had that conversation. So I don't know. I just thought I'd share those experiences. I I personally think it could be message from the other side, but I thought if there's somebody out there who's depressed or grieving, they might get some comfort in knowing I had experiences that back up what we learned in NDEs, and that's, we're not alone. We have angels out there looking out for us. That love is what it's all about. That's really all you need to worry about. And finally, God isn't an angry, vengeful God, but a God full of love and grace. So I just wanted to share that with you.
Well, thank you for sharing that with us, Ken. Do you think it is your guardian angel, or could it be possible that there's someone that's passed on the other side that's connecting with you?
I've thought about that. I'm not sure. I tend to think it's my guardian angel because when all this started, I wanted to know if I had an angel, and listening to the NDE stories, and that's where I first learned that everybody has an angel. So I specifically asked that question. And then all this followed after the 444, and the 444, when I looked it up, said that's a sign of your guardian angels.
Yeah. I think all the sign, I don't know why, for some reason it came to me that it could be possible that it's someone on the other side, but all the signs you're saying to me point in the direction of a guardian angel.
Yeah, I would think so. I would think so. Yeah.
All right. Well, if you have a follow-up to this and another sign, please come back and tell us about it, because that would be interesting to hear a follow-up.
I'm exploring. I'd love to have a more like profound, supernatural experience, because I'm kind of a skeptic in my mind, and that would, I'm a believer, but I'd like to move from a believer to a knower.
I don't know if, I'm sorry to cut you off. I don't know if you heard yesterday's podcast with Elena Danan, who has about UFOs and aliens and etc. And I was saying that I would like to see a UFO, and basically I liked what she said, and I just haven't had the time to go out. I need to go outside, and she just says go outside and sit outside and relax. You got to relax for more than 5 minutes, and just, I have to go back and see what she exactly said, but just, maybe put the intention and meditate that you want to see one, and you'll see one. So
yeah, it's funny you say that, because I don't know if you probably remember Allie, who used to come on your podcast all the time. She has a Discord channel now, and a lot of your viewers are part of that Discord channel and part of your channel, or server, I should say.
Oh, yeah, I don't remember her.
And they do C5 meditations. And I just did one last night. I didn't experience anything, but a lot of people did.
Oh, good. Sounds good. Maybe one of these days I'll get Stephen Greer on, and we can talk about, the inventor of the CE5. Yeah. He's like also had an NDE or two, I believe, as well. So I think he'd be a great guest.
Yeah, I think so too. I love your show, Jeff. I love your audience, love your guests. I think you're doing God's work. I mean, it's changed my life. I feel like it started a spiritual awakening for me.
Yeah. And I hear that kind of feedback so often, that it's something that I never expected when starting this, that would be getting all this feedback, that these videos help so many people. So I think it's amazing.
I think so too.
All right, Ken. Well, again, come back and visit us if you're welcome anytime, but especially if if you get a follow up with these angels, come back and tell us about it.
We'll do. Thank you, Jeff. You have a good weekend.
Thank you. You too.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. what was interesting, I mean, this is not, well, not really interesting, but a side note, is when he kept saying 444, it reminded me of a local attorney here, because there's a lawyer here in town. I think he does probably mostly personal injury, and his phone number is just all fours, 444 4444. And so I guess that his commercials kind of programming worked, because as soon as I heard 4 from him, that attorney popped into my mind. All right, so there's 220 of you here. That means there should be 2.2 people waiting to be with me, and that is a low number, 1%. Anyways, as I was saying, let's see what's coming up for you guys. The next, on Monday, I'm gonna do Earthquake. His name is Earthquake Kelly. Obviously, Earthquake is a nickname, but he was a professional boxer. He was also a sorcerer, and practiced voodoo before his NDE. So I hope you guys will find that interesting. This morning I recorded one with a woman who had an NDE from a motorcycle crash, and the handlebars, she said it impaled her. So that means to me that the handlebars went right through her chest into her lung. And she said some things today that, you know, I never thought about before, and or never heard a guest describe it in this way. So I hope that you'll really find that one interesting for you. Tomorrow I am supposed to meet with Dr. Megan Rose. She's a PhD psychologist, and she has a book that's called Spirit Marriage: Intimate Relationships with Otherworldly Beings. So I'm not sure if it means people in this 3D realm getting married to entities, spirits, you know, or what on the other side, or perhaps people who are married that their loved one is transitions to the other side and they're still married and have contact, or both. I'm not really sure what this book's going to be out, but I'm going to find out tomorrow. So I hope you guys will really like that one. And let's see, what else do I got coming up here? Later in the week, I have I think it's another NDE. And then next week, I'm going to be recording with an actor from the Netflix series Stranger Things. So if you're into that series, I hope you will like having this actor on. And we'll see if his life is as strange as the television show is. All right, so I'm going to go to this while we're waiting for someone else to join. I'm going to go to some of the news articles that I put on the podcast page. And so if you go to I put the link down below for the JeffMara podcast Facebook page. And let me pull them up here for myself. Talk about them. And a lot of them are videos. There's one of them there that is, it looks like it is a picture of one of the triangular shaped UFOs. I don't know if it's real or not. I kind of feel like it's Photoshopped, but you can take a look and see. And what's interesting is Elena yesterday was talking about the triangle shaped UFOs, and she said the older version had rounded corners and the newer version has pointed corners. And these look rounded, so maybe this is the older version of the ship. And what she also said, which I thought was interesting, is that according to her, the government also has UFOs, and we cannot tell the difference between the governments and the real ones. So that's something to think about. The next one is, let's see what else. There's a bunch of them here. So there's another one here where it is someone recorded Bigfoot howling in the forest. At least that's what they're claiming. And if you listen to it, to me it's a little bit high-pitched toned for an actual Bigfoot. You know, what I would think Bigfoot would be. I figure it would be it would have more bassier voice. But then again, I've never heard of a Bigfoot. I mean, never heard Bigfoot in the nature. I'm trying to get back to this real quick while I'm talking. I've never heard Bigfoot talk in nature or howl or whatever, so I don't know for sure. the article says that one of them is speaking to another one, and it's saying that they believe it's a mother speaking to a child. But the article also says that it may be coyote sounds. So if you're into Bigfoot, then you might want to check it out. That's again on the podcast page. There is, let's see, what else did I put up here? This is, this is not paranormal, but you might find this interesting. Though I put a picture and the video of the woman that has the world's longest fingernails. And her fingernails are 42 feet long. Well, actually 42 feet 10.4 inches. And I think she's been growing her fingernails for 20 years. And I don't know how you could really function in life with these things. I mean, 40-foot fingernails, that's amazing. I mean, you're going to have to probably depend on other people assisting you on quite a few things, just basic activities of daily living, because that's got to be, in the way what you're doing. But I think and I was watching the video, I kind of skimmed through it quickly, but if you watch it, what you will see is I think her sister died or a family member died, and I think in growing her fingernails out, that was kind of either a tribute or remembering this person. But again, if you want to see the world's longest nails, there you go. And in the picture, it looks like they're painted, and she's got stripes on them and all kinds of stuff. Now, I think I talked about this last week, and I still have to contact my previous guest. And this is another article about here that I have for you. I told you that one of my guests, we didn't talk about it, but his real job or regular job is he's a meteorologist, and he works for the government. A weatherman, right? And without me asking, which I already felt this, he told me that the seasons are shifting. I already kind of felt like everything starts later. Although this year, I don't know if that's necessarily true because it's been incredibly hot way before it normally gets that hot here in Texas. But before that, it felt like that. Anyways, he just came out and told me that without even me asking, which is a surprise. And I put an article on here that they say that the Earth is spinning faster than it should be. And it's only spinning the days are shorter by 1.59 milliseconds, which to me shouldn't be noticeable, especially if that's, if you feel like spring is starting earlier, that should not be, or starting later, that shouldn't be noticeable, even though if days add up. But I was wondering about that, and I think I mentioned it last week. It was like, if the seasons are shifting, they have something in the math has got to change, because I'm pretty sure that mathematically they've already figured out, how long, obviously you've got time, so how long it takes the Earth to rotate around the sun, and where the sun is, where the Earth is compared to the sun. So without changing the math on that, that would make sense that the variable that has changed would be the Earth spinning faster, which, even though it's just creating days that are shorter or longer, I don't know how that's going to affect the seasons or make a shift. And I think someone in the chat actually put last week, someone left a message for me in the chat that says that when the Japanese earthquake happened, and or at the time when the because at that time, remember, there's the nuclear reactor had a leak or something, that at that time, that's what someone said, it changed the angle of the Earth. So I don't know. You have something, feel free to comment on that. And right now we're waiting for Cricket Ovation 2, and I'm sure that's not the person's name. It's probably his phone or her phone, and it's Tina. So what would be good is I hope Tina went and listened to that Bigfoot sound because she has encountered Bigfoot, and it would be interesting to see if she thinks that it's accurate. So we're waiting for her audio to link up. When someone says there's too much heat in the earth, I think that's what Emily says. And oh, that's interesting to think about. That perhaps heat may change something. Maybe may change make the earth spin faster. That's something to really think about. Or the actual, the actual ellipse that the earth makes around the sun. I guess it's, I think, oh, where'd she go? I think it's interesting to think about is that being in an area, we're so used to gravity and to be in a place, obviously space, that gravity does not exist.
Okay.
Hello, Tina. Welcome.
Thank you.
Did you listen to that Bigfoot sound?
No, not yet.
Oh, I was hoping that you had listened to it and you could tell us whether that sounds accurate to you or not. I don't know if you've heard Bigfoot howling or not. Have you?
I haven't. I'm bracing myself for when I do.
Yeah, so that's there. If you get a chance, check it out. Apparently, what the article states that they feel like it could be a mother communicating with a child.
Oh, okay. Yeah, someone else sent something to me today about how scientists have recorded their howls, and they're like 3-strand sounds or something like that. They're developing a science for this. They can prove that it is not a human. It's not a human howl. So
wow. So
yeah.
So what's going on with you this week? I saw that you have a new Facebook page or something.
I do.
Do you?
No.
So. I thought you invited me. Maybe not.
Well, maybe I got hacked.
Maybe. That's entirely possible because I do get stuff from people who get hacked, and then I'll ask them, and they're like, "I didn't send that."
I did to open it. Yeah. So today I went live on the Pork and Beans show about my Bigfoot experiences.
Oh, great! Awesome. How did that go?
Oh, it was so fun. We went for 3 hours.
Wow. That's a long
time. And we learned so much, just talking with other people that are having a loving, like, spiritual experience with Bigfoot. We're learning a lot. Like, some of us are having the same kind of visions of getting land and making a place for Bigfoot to be and interact safely with humans, like in a wildlife preserve kind of like setting, which is what my Bigfoot teacher has been talking to me about too. So it's interesting that we're all being given the same vision to try to save segments of land from the trees being cut down and make a place for the fairies and the Bigfoot.
I've had one of the most famous remote viewers on the planet as a guest, Major Ed Dames, and I think he believes that Bigfoot, or Big Feet, however you say that plural, are holograms. Maybe that's from alien ships. What do you think about that?
They are both physical and like interdimensional, but like my feeling about some of these alien spacecraft is that they're actually living beings. And I wonder if I've been told by my Bigfoot teacher that I'm related to them because I have an incarnation with them who's alive as a Sasquatch person, like as a Yeti actually right now. And so I'm wondering if some of these spacecraft are actually incarnations of us. And when they contact us, you know how we've been doing like meditations and intentions to calling out like higher vibrations of ourselves and our higher selves, or incarnations who have mastered, you know, like Christ has. And like I know I've been doing that, inviting these beings into my space. I wonder if that's why like these Sasquatch have shown up in my life, and I wonder if other people who have put out those intentions have these spacecraft coming to them, and they might be living beings with an incarnated soul inside of them, because
Mhm.
some of them act like they are living.
Hmm. Now, who is your Bigfoot teacher?
Well, I that's what I call him, the little Bigfoot that I met in the woods, the little
Oh, okay.
juvenile. Yeah, he's I call him my Bigfoot teacher, and that's what I named my TikTok and my uh, YouTube channel.
Do you
So,
think that that your teacher will ever let you get a picture of him with your cell phone?
oh no, mm-mm, no. It's like it's not about trying to prove whether they exist. It's about planting the seed with humanity that there are other beings here. There are other like bipedal beings, humanoid beings here,
Hmm.
and um, they want to teach us and help us remember that we have the same innate abilities that they do. We are interdimensional beings with power beyond our imagination. And if we can just conceive of that, and you know, like want to reach out to them or other spirit teachers, and be open to changing and shifting our paradigms, like they're going to help us be caretakers of the earth and reconnect to the earth and to ourselves and the God within.
Hmm. I was speaking with an NDE guest today, and I think she had a great idea. And basically, it was imagine our evolution to a point where we can pop at will. We can come here to this body or go to the other side, back to the non-corporeal realm, back and forth at will if we get to that evolutionary stage. And maybe the Bigfoot has been able to do that.
Yeah, and what I'm understanding is, you know, at the very center of our cells or atoms, and in the nucleus, scientists have discovered that we're blinking lights. Well, come here,
Your
come
dog sounds angry.
here, come here. He wants to know, who am I talking to?
Is he getting jealous?
Yeah. And so this is what we are. We are these that our very essence is a blinking light that blinks in the spirit world, and then blinks here and blinks there and blinks here and blinks there and blinks here. And I believe that I and everyone has the ability to get in touch with all of their incarnations and go into those, because I've done it in this life, not intentionally, but I have gone and been um, in other incarnations and experienced things, and then come back here and I'm me again. So I know this is a capability that we have to take part in and witness our other incarnations, which are happening simultaneously, like all at once.
Do you think, well, let me change that. Bigfoot only recognizes you when you enter the forest, right?
Oh no,
He knows.
Bigfoot is very plugged into everything that's going on with me. Here's an example. I call this, they left this for me in the middle of my trail that I go on. And when I saw it, I thought, this looks like a dog leg. How weird. You know, I picked it up, put it in my backpack, because I knew like it was put there for me. It was like a sign. And then like a week later, I had to go get ultrasounds done on my legs to look at the veins because I
Mhm.
have a blood vein disease and I
Mm.
need surgery and all this. And after they did the ultrasound, the doctor was explaining the results, and she was saying, "You don't have a disease of the blood veins. You have a birth defect, and
Mm.
your blood veins were malformed in your leg, and we call it dog leg."
Oh, wow.
And yeah, I was like, "Are you kidding?" You know? And then after that, I had another appointment, and it was in an office where the walls were made of glass, and it's kinda set back in the woods, but it's still in town. And so I was sitting there, like, thinking about these test results in this dog leg, and I'm thinking, these Bigfoot are so much more involved and connected than I could have imagined. And as I'm thinking that, I see this watery, like glassy, clear, glassy looking shape of the Bigfoot walking past the glass window, and I was like, there. I feel them with me when I close my eyes and go to sleep. I'm dreaming about them. They have um, they have come into my bedroom while I was in meditation, and some kind of hole was opened up here in my what do you call this, solar plexus.
Okay.
And I felt them reach in and take something out, and I felt it slide down next to me. It like slid down my body next to me on the bed, and then it started spinning.
Mm.
And then I was aware that the whole universe was like connected to my solar plexus here, and they told me like that. They said basically like, you are pregnant with the infinite possibilities of the universe.
Wow.
And this was like the physical universe, because then I saw another one up here that was coming into this uh like the crown chakra, and this was like the spiritual universe. And somewhere like right here they kind of intersect. And I was just like, I wasn't aware that the universe is my body. It's my body. And now I know. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm sure they're gonna teach me like how to work with this body.
Mhm.
But most like so far it's mostly like playing like make believing my perfect reality and how it feels and what it looks like and what it sounds like and tastes like and who's there, and just playing make believe like that to manifest and create. This is what they're showing me so far. So
Well, I'm going to run to the next person, but between now and then, if you have some new information, some new teaching, or some new contact, come back and share it with us.
okay, I will. You know I will.
All right. Well,
I love
thanks.
you guys.
All right. We love you too.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. And we got Mr. Cake next. Our most dedicated weekly contributor. He's never missed a podcast, Mr. Cake. If you don't know who he is, you're about to find out. He also makes videos on YouTube, and he has videos of him and orbs. Hello there, Stephen.
Well, hello there. I've been in the desert for 30 years, playing with my lightsaber. It's very fun, targeting womp rats and other sand people. Very fun.
Have you been hiding out?
Hiding out in the
From the
desert,
dark side.
darling. It's so fun.
Well, it looks like we've got a good internet connection today.
That's good.
Yeah. It's a bummer when you come and then we can't talk to you.
Well, if I only had a better internet. We've got great internet down in the Mar-a-Lago. We got the best internet down there. Melanie is the best wife anyone could ever have.
So
Someone requested Gilbert Godfrey, and when he
wow.
died, I'm sure he's like, when Gilbert Godfrey died, they had to bury him under 6 feet of Bob Saget because he's so dirty.
So, what is new? Do you have anything new? You have anything, any new thing going on with Monique? Anything new? Any new routines you've worked in with the juggling situation? Because I know you used to work in new stuff and learn new things.
Yeah, I told you my computer crashed. I have been recording myself juggling. So I have the recordings, but then like putting it together is another whole other thing.
Did you do that on your phone or your computer?
A laptop.
Oh, a laptop. Okay, because I think you can now. I think YouTube has an app like YouTube Studio. I don't know if you might be able to edit within that. If not,
But what I really want to do is become a famous guru from India. I will also run a taxi cab service, a tech support, a convenience store, and give sage-wise advice to everyone.
Christine in the chat is wondering about did you get your hair done? And then he freezes. Maybe I shouldn't have said it too quickly.
I cut my own hair. I do everything on my own.
Really? You do a great job.
Oh, thank you, darling. I was thinking about getting into the beauty and healthcare.
I think you would be. Things. Have you ever tried doing Freddie Mercury of Queen?
I don't know where I would start on that one.
Because
someone wants to hear a UFO story. So I was everything's kind of connected because it's like that's right when I was getting into connecting with spirit guides. And I felt I was driving to a pool hall and right over the tree line, I saw the triangle UFO. Really? It was at night, so I couldn't see the outline, but it was 3 bright like spotlights on each corner and a blinking red dot in the middle. It was completely silent. And I rolled down the window and I got my head out and I'm looking straight up at it. And then I see a car's right behind me. I'm like, they must not be looking up or paying attention. So then I had to start speeding up again because I slowed down to look at it.
Wow. Was it you? Did you say it was the silent type? Because I thought the triangles are always.
I didn't hear anything.
Yeah, they're always completely silent. Now, that's interesting because I feel like you would be the one that usually you seem to make the comment that aliens are demons. So do you think that ship is an alien ship?
Aren't UFOs, they might be, yeah, that's the thing. You don't know who's controlling that thing. I was too afraid to even tell anyone about it. I was like, I'm not even going to report it. Because at that time I was like watching videos about the men in black who show up at your house if you record UFOs.
Did that change you fundamentally after seeing that?
Because I already believed in stuff like that.
But then you finally got confirmation.
But it's not like I didn't believe in UFOs and stuff like that. It's like I just hadn't seen one. That's how I saw it.
Right. That's really awesome. That's a pretty common, for people who do see UFOs.
Scooms, there's someone at my door. He's got an axe. Oh man, we gotta get out of here. Oh.
I got a request for you to do Obama. Can you do Obama?
That's right. We're gonna fix everything up. I got my beach house, but global warming's on the rise, so I'll just buy another beach house. Put my little dog on there, fly it in with a chopper.
I hear one.
So I think someone wanted Norm Macdonald. Hey, Norm doesn't like when people make fun of him. He doesn't talk like that at all. Hey, what the heck?
Can you do Shaggy and Scooby-Doo?
I thought I just did that.
I thought that was Norm Macdonald.
No, the one before that, like, hey, King Scooms, there's someone at the door and they got an axe. What you need to do, my friend, is develop compassion. You need to have compassion for other people.
What's the latest with Monique?
She is always here all the time, and we just have it's like a back and forth kind of game. Like I kind of like insult her, and then she like slaps, and I say, "You're bad." I say, "You're a bad girl. You're bad," because she's trying to embarrass me.
You know, I was trying to talk to you about this last week, and your internet was crashing on us. But last week I had a guest, and he said something about he'd put a spirit on his computer screen. And then I thought about you and how it all started when you put Monique's picture on your screen.
That's how it started. Is I put her picture. I didn't know her in real life.
Right.
And it took me a while to figure out who was doing this. I didn't know right away. Someone was just pressing down on my bed, going around my bed, pressing it down. And over time, I met someone from where she lived, and then I got a sneak peek of her. Both my grandmas saw her. So like over time, I just kept building up evidence that this was this lady.
I mean, when you first started having that contact with her, I mean, weren't you freaking out and getting scared?
No, not at all. Because I've had so many experiences, spiritual and paranormal type experiences.
I would. That's pretty interesting. I figured I know I would if I felt somebody walking around or making, you know.
I think you get used to it over time. That's what I think happens. Is like, so the first time I talked to my spirit guide, she woke me up, and it was like a vibration in my head. It's almost like that's how they're somehow making some kind of vibration. And the first thing she said was, "Do not be afraid. This is the love of God." Because the first reaction is that you're going to be afraid of whatever it is, just because it's unknown.
Right. Lizette in the chat says that your best character is Trump.
Well, that's because I watch a lot of Trump. I get up in the morning, put on a Trump tape, watch it all day long, study his every moves. I was hoping to go to one of his rallies. He's got big, big rallies. And get up there and talk about how great he is. He's the best, number one, the best ever.
He's got, like I said, I those hand gestures like he does.
Big guy, he's big. Trust me, problem. There's no problem downstairs. Got lots of problems, not down there though. He's already an over-the-top guy, so that's what I like to impersonate. Just kind of, people that are already kind of, funny to begin with.
So, you were waiting. If you get a new computer, you might start posting again. Is that what you're saying? Or you get your computer fixed? Because you're not posting YouTube videos anymore, or what?
Yeah, I've been doing these puzzles. I posted one puzzle. I got another one I did, but like I said, it's like it's like I don't want to say it's just depression. It's like a feeling of like it doesn't matter what I do, nothing's gonna improve, type of thing.
Right. All right, bud. Well, I've got to do what I've got to do and go to the next guest.
Bye for now. Bye for Kate.
Oh, by
See you later.
I think
on a different date.
By the way, your beard looks good too. I like it. You're
Thank you. Very nice. I'm sure we'll get along. Later. We've had a few. You know what I mean? All right, man. You got to do what you got to do. Thank you, and God bless everyone.
Thank you. God bless you. Have a great week, and I'll see you next week.
Bye.
Cheers. Oh, he's gone before I look. All right, so next up we got Dan Watts. And while Dan's popping in, I want to say thank you very much to Gracie Girl for the super thanks. I really appreciate it. And let's see what Dan's up to. Asked to start video. Dan,
can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. How are you?
Oh, great. It's better this time.
Yes.
It was right away.
Yes.
So,
what do you got to share with us?
Do you remember what we talked about last time?
No. But
okay,
I remember you.
Okay. Well, I told you about my sleep paralysis events that I had.
Okay.
And how I kind of overcame the negativity, like the negative experiences that I was having through that, and then discovered a way to kind of positively go through it. And then in the final couple nights that I had that, I was visited by beings. And
Wow.
do you remember that story
I
at all?
don't. I apologize. I just
Okay, it's okay.
sometimes I do
It's
and
okay.
sometimes I don't. I just
I'll just do a little like short like run through that just
oh,
to
okay.
refresh your memory. But basically, the sleep paralysis that I was having was really affecting me negatively, and I did some research online try to um, try to like figure out what to do about it because I was having about like 2 times, 3 times a week,
Wow.
and uh, and it was like really bad. I would see like just negative imagery and
Mhm.
be paralyzed, couldn't
Mhm.
speak or move, and just
Right.
like be able to see what was happening. And so I did some research and decided to try some meditation techniques like and be very accepting and in the moment of while it was happening, and
Mhm.
that ended up being like a way that it was able to um, kind of like transform the situation into something very kind of like positive and warm and
Mhm.
welcoming.
Yeah.
And when I did that, it's like it was like this experience was kind of teaching me something in a way. And so uh, the last 2 nights of that, what I was saying is that I was I knew there was a presence the second to last night, and the very last night a being had materialized. Like I was looking, my face just happened to be paralyzed, looking towards my window. I saw lights outside my window, and the wall started to kind of like wave like this, and a being materialized there and just kind of presented herself to me. And I um was it was like kind of a smallish like looking person,
Mm.
and kind of looked humanoid, looked like human but not human at the same
Mhm.
time. And so I uh I ended up after just being in awe, I kind of mentally asked a question, and I said,
Cool.
what should I do right now? And I heard like in my head like said, it is your job to paint this. And
Oh yeah.
paint,
Now it's coming back to me. I asked you
paint, yes.
why haven't you painted that? Or
So yes, exactly.
Mhm.
So well, and I was thinking about that, and to be honest, like a lot of those experiences were very terrifying to me, and I kind of didn't want to revisit it. That was part of it, but also like I really didn't know. Like I thought it was like I just didn't want to tell anybody about it, you know,
okay.
and just in fear of like people thinking I'm crazy or something. And anyway, so I came on here. I did start the painting, but I
Cool.
haven't finished it yet. It
Oh,
takes a
great.
while for me to do paintings, but I saw that you needed some people on tonight, so
Mhm.
I thought that I would tell you because something happened since that night.
All right.
So there was a very long period of time between that night where that happened and talking to you. So and nothing, like no kind of paranormal, nothing happened to me in that time that I can think of. And uh, that very night when I got off the call,
Mhm.
I had sleep paralysis for the first time in years.
Wow.
It came right back that very night, and um, I like couldn't see what was going on. It was just like my position, and I just felt a presence that there. And then instead of me waking up from that, because normally every single time I would wake up and be like, "Whoa, that was crazy," you know.
Mhm.
Um, this time I went immediately into this extremely vivid dream, and sometimes I dream a lot, but it's always like it has a certain like feeling or texture to the dream, like looks a certain way, feels a certain way. And it's just like that's how I just categorize those as normal dreams. But sometimes I have these dreams that are very vivid and like that have this like depth to them that just seem different. They stand out. That night, I I was like transported to like I was looking at some mountains and I saw like a UFO, basically a spaceship looking thing. Um, and it was weird because it like I was transported from the sleep paralysis into that, and then it just like revealed me. But the weird thing is like it was the Tic Tac shape, like from those Tic Tac videos,
Mm-hmm.
and I'd never dreamed of that before or anything, and I was like, that is so strange. And I remember just um like the imagery was so vivid, and I remember something I've talked to I don't know, maybe you know her, Lily Nova, a couple times.
Yeah, I had her as a
And
guest.
yeah, and she said that if like extraterrestrials or star beings visit you in your dreams, they're trying to tell you a message, give you a message.
Hmm.
And so this is so crazy because this happened like both of those things happened the night that I got off the phone with you. And so it's like that happened, and it's like I just opened up a Pandora's box or something, because immediately after that, I woke up the next morning. I had extreme like pain in my stomach, though. Like I don't really get sick that often, but just out of nowhere, I had this pain, and I was sick for like 5 or 6 days after that. Like really sick, just couldn't really like move my body, didn't want to do anything. Just like kept drinking water and just couldn't really eat. It was just different. I didn't have COVID too, and I'm sorry for, I don't know if I can say that on here, but um, yeah. So it was something that really affected me, and I just thought, like, I saw there was, you were waiting for some people to come on. I thought I'd
Mhm.
tell you that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Now
but so
you
that
were
happened.
just on like I think 2 or 3 weeks ago. That's how back.
Yes.
It's not that far
Yeah,
away.
I think it was 2 weeks.
Maybe you coming on and sharing somehow opened you back up, right?
Hmm.
That's what I'm guessing because you said it'd been years, right?
Yeah, yeah. And that's the funny thing is you said you like even repeated like, and sometimes when I like I notice little things like when something like somebody repeats something, like it's like, okay, this is something. I mean, it's not just because like, I mean, probably because you wanted to emphasize that, but also sometimes like things are repeated in life and you're like, oh, maybe this is something I need to pay attention to,
Mhm.
like a little like nudge from the universe, because like our friends and family, like I feel like the universe speaks through all of us,
Right.
and
Go ahead. I'm sorry. I'll tell you in a minute.
anyway, I was just saying that you said that, why, what am I waiting for? You asked that like two or
Yeah.
three times.
Right.
Yeah. And so I just think I opened something up, and I don't mean to freak you out or anything, but
Not freaking me out.
I think that you might be some kind of like ambassador for some paranormal stuff, because like you seem to be like a beacon of
Hmm.
like transmitting and connecting people in this way.
Right. I was thinking, when I kind of interrupted you,
Hmm.
a lot of my podcasts, I have no questions when I start. I mean, I just have like, here's today. Basically, all I
Really?
have is an introduction, how to
Hmm.
introduce the guest, and the
Wow.
date on this person, and oh, this is another guest. The date on when his date is, and his 6 books. That's all I have. So I don't want to make myself out more than I am. I mean, it just may be the questions pop into my head, but it made me think that, is it possible that, or it would be interesting as if it was possible that as a host, imagine I'm channeling questions.
Hmm.
That would
I
be pretty
think
crazy.
like that's something that I thought about heavily like over this last couple weeks too. Just like that just kept ringing through my head, and I was just like, you know what? Next time I talk to you, I'm gonna say that,
Hmm.
because I think that like sometimes you are you're helping people out in so many ways, just doing what you're doing, and I just want to say thank you because you're doing something amazing,
Oh,
and
thank you.
it's yeah, and just um not only helping people out in those ways, but also like I think that you're kind of like opening yourself up to be able to give messages to people.
I actually would make my job a lot easier if I wouldn't have to think up the questions. If they just came
Yeah,
to me, where I didn't even,
yeah.
I didn't even make
It
up a
seems like that's
question.
what you're doing, kind of. Yeah,
Really, most of the time I'm
yeah,
kind of, sometimes they come to me and sometimes I'll think of stuff. And
yeah.
sometimes I do have questions with certain guests. So,
Mhm.
it's not every single guest that I don't have questions.
Yes,
Sometimes I do. But
yeah.
yeah, I
And
mean, if you now, since that, you've only had one sleep paralysis since that time.
so it
Have you
just
had
happened that night.
just that night?
Just
Okay.
happened that night, and I was sick for the whole week prior. And so this one more week. I guess it's been 2 weeks. So the next week has just been me kind of recovering from that and trying to, work on the painting and do like just just the inner work, trying to figure all this out. And
Mhm.
I recently have been I've been had like a meditation practice for a while, and I I've I actually do like get messages from what I believe are beings that are helping me out. Um, Now, last time I talked to you, I told you this is the only physical contact I've ever had.
Mhm.
But yeah, I've like in my mind's eye seen beings that have like been recurring beings come to me in my meditations,
Mm.
and be able to kind of like it's not always like perfect, but because like I guess my meditation practice goes up and down, and I get sometimes I feel like I'm really on it and in the groove, and sometimes I feel like I fall off. But when I'm really on it, I do feel like I get messages. And
Mm.
actually, something funny happened. I don't know if you have time. I could tell you a little
Yeah,
thing.
I have nobody in
Uh,
mind, so.
oh, okay. Well, so I was thinking about because actually before I came on the show, one of the reasons I came on the show is because like I felt like I needed to get this out.
Mm.
And I was also thinking that I want answers. Not that I was thinking I'd get answers from you or anything, but I was just thinking that like something recently I was thinking about is that I want to know if I have a spirit guide. And if I do, maybe that I can get in contact with this spirit guide and get some help. And so I looked online. So like that's just something I do when I get an idea. I just like do some research online, see if like what other people have done, and try to research it, and just learn ways to do things. Like I tried that with lucid dreaming, and um, so recently I looked up how to get in contact or find out if you have a spirit guide.
Mhm.
And one of the things that it said was, well, you have to try to figure out how you receive messages, because not everybody receives messages the same way. There's like an auditory thing. Some people actually say that they can hear like voices, right? Or see visions, like a visual way. But there is a third way, and this is, I had always had a feeling that this is like the way. It was that you kind of have just a knowing. It's like not necessarily hearing a voice, not seeing something, but you just suddenly have this insight.
Mhm.
And so I just sat down. I said, okay, let me think how I did it. It was like I decided that I was going to try to test this out to see which um, way I receive messages, and that would help find out if I have a spirit guide. And so I started out. I said, okay, if I have a spirit guide, can you please tell me? I was going to say, tell me a number, and I'll see how it comes to me, or if anything comes to me. And immediately, boom, I had the insight of the number two. I was like, okay, well, that was fast. And, I don't know if I was just thinking of the number two.
Right.
And, so I was just thinking, like, well, how can I do this? And I thought, okay, try it again. Didn't hear or see anything. Uh, and then I said, okay, give me a letter. Boom, B. Okay, so really the second letter of the alphabet. I mean,
Mm.
I'm just stuck on the number two right now. And I was just like doubting myself, which I do sometimes. And I was just thinking, and then suddenly I had this like feeling like someone was talking to me, and I like in my gut feeling, it's like I heard, well, what is it going to be? To be or not to be?
Oh, wow. It's
And I was
crazy.
like, okay, I see, okay.
Sounds like
And
it's someone's trying to get a message across.
yes, and they're funny too. And so I thought I also wanted to try to get a name, like if there was a like something I could call this being.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember like I had recently seen one of your podcasts where someone, she was talking about she had a helper of sorts, and you asked, what is this person, do you think it's an angel or spirit guide, or what kind of person is, and she said that she calls it a daemon.
Dame?
A daemon, like
Dame?
Daemon. I
Oh,
didn't really
I don't
know what
remember
that
that
was.
one.
It was just very like brief. She just said it really fast, and that just kind of stuck in my mind because I remember thinking about that. So like, I guess maybe my spirit guide knew that I'd been thinking about that a lot, just wondering what that was, because suddenly I felt just I couldn't get the name out of my head. Damien just kept
Mm.
coming. Like it was just like, call me Damien. You've been thinking about Damons anyway. Like just call me Damien.
Oh, wow.
And so yeah, that was some interesting thing that happened to me recently.
Um, well, the one thing is that sleep paralysis is a real thing. It's a medically
Mhm.
documented thing. So, that's a credible thing that's happening to you. And I think
Yeah.
most people are terrified when that happens and are afraid. Well, terrified is afraid, and it appears that you're able to control it now. And
Mm.
so if you're seeing beings, I mean, you're conscious. It's like your body's awake somewhat, but your conscience is awake, but your body's asleep. So if somehow
Mhm.
beings are trying to come in, it's pretty
Yes.
remarkable.
Hmm.
I'm curious to see what this woman looks like once you paint her.
Yes, I've got it. And the thing is, it's been years, but that's one thing I wanted to tell you is that I've not everything. I remember everything. Like it's not like some vague imagery that it's like in the past. It's like
Hmm.
it's just I can think about that and I just see that.
Hmm.
And I'm not like the best painter, but I try, and so I'm gonna try to do my best. But
Cool,
so
cool,
but
awesome.
yeah, I think I'm gonna write a song about it too, because I really want to try to see if I can go out and um, see some UFOs or something.
Hmm.
And I heard from a guy named John Martin, who he plays guitar to the two beings, and he said that that's one way he figured out how he can do it, because it relaxes him, it puts him in a state of relaxation,
Hmm.
and he's able to in that state he's not like feeling like too emotional, like
Right,
in any like one direction. And
right. It's almost like a meditative state that it puts him
yeah,
in while
yeah,
playing.
and I do feel that when I play music too, so I'm gonna take probably my guitar out. I'm actually going up to I'm gonna go visit Mount Rainier and later this month, and I heard there was a spot there you can go to to see some things,
Hmm.
and I'm
Yeah,
gonna go out there and try to sing.
right. I've had someone on this podcast. I mean, on the Saturday night, as well as another guest on the podcast. We talked about there is some place out there in Washington where you can go, and he gave me
Mhm.
the website. I forgot it, but
Really? You don't
yeah,
remember what it
where you
is?
could go camp there and everything. And this other guy that
Mm-hmm.
came, I think last week or 2 weeks ago, was going to go camp there, and it was full. But there's some UFO
Yeah.
camp somewhere out
Okay.
there near Mount Rainier, somewhere in Washington State. I'm pretty sure if you just
Yeah.
Google it, somebody,
Yeah.
or maybe somebody in the chat here is even aware of it. And if not, if you Google it,
Hmm.
you'll see it.
Yeah. It might be the same place I'm thinking of. That's what I did originally. I just like Googled like best places in the U.S. to see
Oh,
UFOs.
it's so great that I'm glad you said this, because I posted a news article today. Let's see if it's still here. Is it still here? Yeah. On the JeffMara podcast Facebook page, I posted a news article, and the state that has the most sightings per population of people is Washington State.
Wow.
Yeah, I was
That's
gonna
amazing.
kind of like quiz the audience and see if they knew, but
Huh.
since you already mentioned it,
That's
it made
crazy.
me believe it. But yeah, you can
This
read that
is
article.
really crazy.
You can read that article. I posted that article on our Facebook page that has the
Yeah.
highest per. They said
That's interesting.
per 100,000 people, the highest
Mhm.
number of people who see it. I don't know. It's like 80 something people per 100,000 people see UFOs, and that's Washington. So
That's amazing. You know,
you're
there
in
might
the
not be
right
any
place.
coincidences. There may be no coincidences because I don't live in Washington State. Actually, I'm in Texas.
Oh, okay.
And
Wow. I didn't
yeah,
know you're here with
yeah,
me. What part?
yeah. I'm just outside of Dallas in Denton.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I'm just happen to be going to Washington later this month. So and that was one of the top things on the list that I saw. So I was like, I'm just gonna do that since I'm going there anyway. It's like some interesting things are lining up.
Mhm.
So
Cool.
I'll try that out, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, bud. Well, listen, I'm gonna run. I appreciate you coming back and hanging with us. And once you get, if you have another dream paralysis tonight, come back next
Yeah.
week and tell us about it.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm not wishing one on you.
Yeah, I mean, the weird thing is like I'm scared, but I'm not scared at the same time.
Mhm.
It's like I want it, but I get scared, you know?
Mhm.
It's just so new and weird,
Right.
you know? It's just
Right.
yeah, but yeah,
Yeah.
I'll definitely tell you
That'll be cool. And then otherwise, well, I'm waiting for your painting. Come back and share
for
it with us.
sure. Yeah, yeah, definitely will.
All right, bud.
All right, man.
Thanks, man. Have a
Thank you,
great
man.
weekend.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, so that is interesting, isn't it? That the night that he came and shared his sleep paralysis, he hadn't had one in years, and he had one again that very night that he came and shared it with us. I think I feel like that's a sign to me. Careful, Jeff, Texas. Why do you say that? All right, let's see here. Should I read it? Okay. My wife Mara, by the way, and that's how this, for those of you who don't know, because I know that there's, well, you guys probably know because you come all the time, but I still see from time to time comments that they think my last name is Mara, and they don't realize that my wife is Mara, and she's basically my other unseen better half that does the podcast with me. Anyways, she said, Julie had a comment that said, as Jeff, as I mentioned before, in Jewish tradition, the bones are the deepest part of soul on the physical level, as below, so below. So not as beloved, so below. Not a surprise that you worked in chiropractic. Never thought about that. So thank you for that comment, Julie. I got 20 minutes left. So if you were on the fence about coming in and sharing, you've got 20 minutes to get in. Otherwise, we'll have to wait till next week. So yeah, that was that article that I just told him about. It's pretty interesting. And again, what a synchronicity that, he's going to Washington, and that kind of reminded me, but it was 88 sightings per 100,000 residents, if you were curious about the numbers on that. And I think, and they say, I don't know if California's number 2, but they say California, for example, is 39 per 100,000 residents. So if you want to go to see a UFO, it looks like Washington is the best. Let me see what other news articles I put for you. There's another one that I put, and it says a teleporting ghost. So if you like ghosts, it was taken in India, and I'm assuming the guys are like on a moped or something, and it's in the dark, and they're like driving down like a dirt road, and there's a lot of shrubs and bushes on the sides. And you can see as they're going down the road, on the side, there's like some kind of weird clothed figure. And so they pass it and then they keep going. And like 20 seconds later, now I guess the figure teleported and it's right in front of them. And they pull up to it and they stop and they're like freaking out and stuff. So if you want to see that video, you can go to our podcast page and click on the link and check that out. That's one of them. There is another news article that I posted that it's video of an odd flying saucer in Brazil. So there's not, you just see the UFO in the sky. You don't see anything else. So it's hard to really gauge the size of it because you have nothing to compare it to. But if you want to see it, it's there for you. And I hope you like that. This is TUSI Survey Podcast. So we got another podcast here. TUSI Survey. I'm assuming TUSI means something. We're about to find out. And I told you about the longest fingernails in the world, and I've told you about the Earth spinning faster. And I had some other stuff from last week that I didn't really speak about much because we were so busy. Saw the one article, if you scroll down, there are holes in the moon where if you stay inside of that hole, the temperature doesn't change, because if you're on the surface of the moon, there are vast changes in temperature. Like during the sunlight, I think it gets up to like 179 degrees or something like that. Let me see, I can tell you while we're waiting. It can fluctuate, heating up to 260 degrees Fahrenheit or 127 Celsius if you use that system during the day, and at nighttime it will drop to negative 280 Fahrenheit or negative 173 Celsius. So that's a massive temperature change. But inside those holes, it is always 63 degrees. It doesn't change. So that's amazing. And that's where they're talking about it's a perfect place to make like a moon shelter or maybe a moon base. And that's pretty cool. It's kind of like caves here, caves. We have a lot of caves here in Texas, and we've gone to the caves and stuff. And if you've ever been, if you ever get a chance, you're out in New Mexico, El Paso area, you drive, well, I guess not El Paso, but in New Mexico, there's Carlsbad Caverns. And if you get a chance, the cave system is massive, massive, massive. I mean, when you're walking through a cage that's like the size of a warehouse all the way down, it's just so big. And when you get to the bottom, it's just giant. And it used to be the biggest in North America, but I think that they found one recently, or they've released one recently that's even bigger. But it's so big, and what's cool is when you get to the bottom, you don't walk the way back up. They have an elevator that they built, and you take the elevator back up. And if you go there, I'm not sure if it's every night of the year, but at least when I went there, it was like fall or late summer, fall. We went there, and they have at the evening time, you can watch all the bats fly out of the cave, and it's kind of weird. They kind of circle as they come out, vortex, and there's so many bats. It lasts at least a half hour, if not longer. I mean, it just keeps going and going. It's pretty wild. So we lost him. Maybe he'll be back. Let's see if we have any other news articles that I forgot to speak about. I'm sure there's some somewhere. I'm just not seeing them. They're too on or down the line. Oh, here's an old one. If you go way down there, I don't think I ever talked about this one too. There is a security camera that happens to catch an alien walking, well, it says here, strolling across a driveway in Texas. So you might want to check that one out. I'd saw that, but I'd forgotten it and never spoke about it. As I said, sometimes we're really busy here and I just never get the chance to speak about it. There's another one. There's a video of an Iowa motorist who films an eyeball UFO. And Tesla is planning to unveil their Optimus humanoid robot in September. So that would be interesting to see what Tesla puts out on that. And one last one. Here's some other one. There's a house that looks like the Jetsons' house for sale in Oklahoma. It actually looks like something out of Call of Duty for me. So if you play Call of Duty and you're into games, you'll recognize that. And there was another one I had as an article about scientists believes that there were 2 space wars in our solar system. So those are some articles there. Now, if you are new and you missed it in the beginning, if you look down in the description below the podcast or below my video, you will see the link to the Discord server. If you don't know what Discord is, you can get a free Discord profile. And then what you do is you click on that link and then you go to Discord and you can join my servers, which are kind of like my chat rooms. And you can go there and you can video chat, voice chat. You can post whatever. Let's see how many people are there right now. I haven't even kept up with it. How many people are actually there? Discord 300. Oh, it's we're over 400 now. So it's 404 people there. So if you want to meet like-minded people, you can hang out. And as well as there's one there called services, which I haven't kept up with this. I don't keep up with it actually that much, but Merlin is there. Typo, I don't know if she's still there or not, but she used to give away some free services. And then one of my guests recently, she does some kind of long distance healing, and she was supposed to be service. And I'm not sure if she is or not, but you can look into that. And I made that up for people who want to do services to offer it to everybody for free. So it's a free thing. I don't really want it to be, about money exchange. It's just kind of a place for people who want to practice their craft, that they can do it, and there's people there willing to, to participate. So under that is the Facebook page. Again, that's the link. And why does it say Discord? That's not right. I need to fix that. Maybe that's why no one's maybe even looking at my news article. It's that one up today. Where? Facebook. Put the right link in there, but that's the link to the Facebook. I'll give you that 1 second. So I was in a hurry, perhaps, when we were getting started and trying to put that in there for. And anyways, if you don't, you guys are probably pretty savvy, and all you have to do is basically go to YouTube and go to JeffMara podcast, and then that's where you see it there. You just go, search down there, it would pop right up. Let's see, content, no. It says the Facebook Discord. Sometimes when you hit copy paste, it just doesn't work. Okay. So that is there now. It's corrected. My personal Facebook page is there. If you want to friend me, you're welcome to. I'm accepting friends until I hit 5,000, which I can't anymore. And then I have the JeffMara NDE Clips YouTube channel. And what I did with that is I just took clips out of my videos, and those are there for people who just like to watch NDEs and they don't want to watch a full hour. They don't have an hour to invest in. They just, have that certain amount of time. And so that's there. And if you want, you have 5, 10, 15 minutes, you want to see an NDE story, it's there for you to do that. And there we have it. All right, I think Jeff said in a prior show it would be okay. What's that about? And you're welcome. We have a few minutes left, so if you want to ask me questions, you're welcome to ask me questions. Would it be sometimes to call in without video? Yeah, sometimes it would be. If it's not busy like today, you're welcome to come in and you can just do audio only if you don't want to see, you don't want to be seen. And it says, who can destroy a planet? Well, that's only the Death Star can do that, right? I don't know if you saw the other day the one that I did with Arden, but one thing I was really interested in speaking with Arden was that your consciousness is existing in a space without time. And it's kind of like if you know, we're so much usually caught within our mind. You know, we're thinking about the future all the time, or thinking about the past, and we're not really relaxed in present time or really focused in present time. And so he was making the point, like when you're in the zone, like if you're doing something you love to do, you're playing a game or you're doing a hobby that you love to do, you know, and the expression time flies when you're having fun, you kind of almost pop out of linear time when you're you know, in that, when you're in the zone, when you're in maybe into pure consciousness or present time. You know, you've kind of blocked out of the past and the future and other things that you think about, and you're just really, really present. So if you have a comment on that, it'd be interesting. I thought it was really interesting. It was nice to have him put that together. I heard by 2050 they're going to land. My best friend and I love your channel. Reason. Well, thank you very much to you and your friend. Let's see what else is here. You believe that 100%. Hopefully in our lifetime. Our love to you and your best friend. Yeah, I figured that out. Star Blazers, Tachyon's gun. Okay. When is the next inspiration compilation video coming? That's a good question. They just kind of come out when I need to, you know. Oh, well, we got James here. Let's see who James is. But maybe soon, you know, probably it should be done around every 50 videos. And it's been a while. I don't know if it's been 50. You know, it's 6 a week. 5 weeks would be 30. James, how's it going?
Hey Jeff, how are you?
Great. How are you?
Fine.
What's going on in Waco?
Ain't nothing much. How you
Nothing.
know I'm from Waco?
You told us at one time.
Oh yeah. Shoot. My brain.
That's okay. So what's going on? You seen, you know, how far is Waco from Stephenville? Do you know where Stephenville is?
I have no idea.
Stephenville, I think, is a little bit west of you guys. And I think somewhere near there is. Well, we'll just go back to this. An hour and a half. Okay, it's not that close then. But there was that famous UFO sighting in Stephenville. I don't know if you remember that a few years back. And that was like a big deal for Stephenville. It's from what I know, Stephenville's, you know, a real small town, probably a couple thousand people, but it was national news for a while. So I was just wondering if you knew anything about that, or.
I heard about it, but no, I haven't heard much about it.
So do you have any new paranormal stories for us?
No, I just wanted to hop on real quick.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you watching and hanging out with us. And for those, do you want people to know who you are in the chat?
I mean, it's up to you.
That's up to you, not up to me.
Hey guys, I'm Simply Noob Galaxy.
There he is. See? So now you guys can put a face with a name.
So what you been up to, Jeff?
Working. This is a, you know, even though it's a labor of love, it's also basically a lifestyle, because I'm here every day. I'm talking to guests basically every single day, sometimes twice a day. And we're editing, and we are, you know, Well, basically, yeah, I'm the one talking to the guests, but my wife and I are editing, and it's to do it every day. It's luckily we don't have to do it 8 hours a day like a regular job, 8 hours a day. But you have to stay consistent every day, or if you want to post every day, or you'll get behind. It won't happen. But it's some time that you put in every single day, and I probably keep odd hours because I either have to see the guests in the morning or the evening. That's usually when I see them, and sometimes if I have to see them in the evening, then we got to edit afterwards. Whereas in the morning it's easier. And then also it's summertime, so my kids are off from school, and we let them stay up late, and so we're all staying up late and sleeping in late, which is going to end next week because they go back to school next week. So we're going back to the regular schedule. We're going back to regular programming here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
School doesn't start till the 23rd around here, so
Oh wow.
we got
Yeah.
a little bit of time.
Yeah, I'm surprised. Are you a senior?
Yeah. No, I'm a junior.
Okay, great. I'm surprised here it's starting August 10th. That to me seems really early.
Yeah.
I'm assuming maybe they're going to give them more vacation days in the middle of the school year to kind of make up for that. And when I was in school, and probably a lot of the viewers out there, we didn't start till after Labor Day. And you finished around, you were off from Memorial Day to Labor Day, but now, it starts way early.
Yeah. It was like that in Virginia. The exact day, after Labor Day, that's when school would start.
I had a guest that was on today from Canada, and we were talking, and I said that really they should take the summer break here because it's so hot and make it the winter break, because the winter break's pretty nice here. Like usually Christmas Day is about 70, and you get like a couple weeks cold in January. But if we should have the 3 months off from like November through to February, and then just get like a 2-week break in the summer because it's like too hot to do anything here anyways. Whereas up north, it's too cold to go outside. Here, it's too hot to go outside.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you heard about this. This might be interesting for you guys. I saw advertising for a while, or they were talking about it. In places in East Texas, small towns, it's very difficult to get teachers out there. So they're considering to go to a 4-day school week to attract teachers and give them a 3-day weekend and just make the days longer. Which sounds pretty cool to me. I think that's a pretty good idea. I don't know how it will be on the kids and the teachers, if you go an extra hour every day, but it could be pretty neat. I think the teachers would really like it, that 3-day weekend. And if there's any teachers out there, you can comment. I always thought it would be pretty interesting to be a teacher because you get the summers off, which I would think would be pretty nice. Right?
I would agree.
You agree?
Yep.
All right. Well, it's almost over for me. You got anything else you want to share before I get out of here?
No, I just want to say that y'all are a great family, and thanks for all y'all do.
Well, thank you very much. And you and everybody else are an amazing audience. And I appreciate you guys more than you realize. All right,
I love the audience too.
Yeah. I mean, look at the chat. I mean, it's such a friendly chat, and you guys are so great with each other. I think it's amazing. All right, James. Well, I'm going to see you later. You have a great rest of your weekend.
You too, Jeff. Thanks, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Peace. Bye.
All right. So, again, thank you all for hanging out with me on Saturday. I really appreciate you guys. Like I said, I wish you a great rest of your week. I hope you enjoy these podcasts coming out for you this week. I wish you the best. We love you. God bless you, and have a great night. Bye-bye.